So today we are going to be talking about a cardboard kinds cheat sheet, and this cheat sheet is going to help you create stronger and more beautiful cardboard projects by always using the perfect kind of cardboard. Now, the first cardboard we're going to talk about is single face cardboard. Now, this cardboard is pretty cool. You've definitely seen it before. It comes with just one face of the cardboard. So right here you can see it's only got paper on one side and then it's all corrugated on the other. And what is really unique about this is you can bend it super easily in this direction or this direction, but it does not bend sideways very well, which can make it really good for wrapping around cylinders and doing stuff like that. But also people will use the corrugated edge of this as like a feature on their crafts a lot of the time to create a cool look for things. So that's one way that this cardboard can be used. And when it comes to different kinds of cardboard, there are cardboard styles. There aren't really official names for these, but this is what I'm calling it. Cardboard styles, and then there are also cardboard kinds. All right, so these styles can come in any kind of cardboard. So this is single face, but later we'll get to A-flute and B-flute cardboard and what all of that means. And then those can be single face or single wall cardboard or double wall cardboard. Single wall cardboard is going to be basically your standard kind of cardboard, and you can find it in pretty much anything, your shipping containers, all kinds of stuff you get from Amazon, is going to come usually with single wall cardboard around it, which has just one layer of corrugation in the middle, that fluting, and then a layer on the top and bottom. This is pretty average strength. You can still crease it longwise if you want to. It's a little bit harder to crease this way. And then, as we move down to stronger kinds of cardboard, you're going to end up with double wall cardboard. And this can be made of any two kinds of cardboard, but basically it has two layers glued together, and that allows it to be way stronger. But also you'll notice that the fluting in the bottom layer of this is a lot tighter than in the top layer. What that's going to do is cause the fluting not to be lined up with each other, which means it's a lot stronger if you try to bend it along that corrugation. And I really love using this for also the application that it's thicker. So if you need to make something really thick, then the thickness helps, and you can glue stuff to the side a little bit more easily because it is thicker than regular cardboard. That's our double wall cardboard. Sometimes you'll find this in like packages from Home Depot or something that had something really heavy in them. They'll need to use this double wall cardboard because it needs to be able to take a lot of weight. I work in a factory. They have a lot of boxes made of that double wall. Now, kinds of cardboard fluting, you start with A-flute cardboard. This is the thickest kind of cardboard, which is good if you're making like a big cardboard projects because it's not going to crumple as easily. It'll be able to support a little bit of its own weight. It's the thickest one. And I have over here all of these cardboard pieces that you see in these pictures. I'm holding the real written out version. You can do this for yourself if you download this cheat sheet with the link in the description below. You can find those cardboards and then cut them out so you have like references for yourself. Not all A-flute cardboard is exactly the same. Sometimes they have a little bit of variability in these flutes per inch or flutes per foot right here, but that's the rough amount. You'll notice that A-flute cardboard has 36, and the flutes are going to keep going up per foot because the cardboards are going to get thinner. The thickness is roughly 1/4 of an inch, but yeah. Again, they'll get thinner after this. Typical cardboard is around 1/8 of an inch if you want to get some rounding in there. And then, yeah, it's 0.48 millimeters. So you can find this cardboard on its own, but sometimes it'll also be like my A-flute cardboard is actually a peeled off piece of double wall cardboard. It had a piece of like E-flute stuck to the other side. And I use this cardboard, again, when I'm making big things, when I need to take up a lot of space, just like I said with the double wall cardboard. It's not very good for small pieces because those fluting parts are so far apart. 36 flutes per foot is not a lot. So if you make a little piece, the flutes will be kind of suspending that top piece of paper, and it won't hold together super well. Plus, you'll see a lot of the corrugation, which isn't super beautiful, and it can be harder to fill in. So moving on to C-flute cardboard. This is a little bit more common to use, still on the thicker side of cardboards. You'll notice we moved up to 40 flutes per foot, and It's 11/64 inches thick, just for more precise measurements. I'll also have a couple other videos linked in the description below related to different cardboard thicknesses and how to use them if you're interested in that. You can find it in a lot of medium large boxes. Again, you can get boxes like this from Amazon. This is a much more common shipping solution than is A-flute cardboard. And you'll notice that we straight up skipped B because B comes later because it's actually thinner. And yeah, I like this cardboard. I use it a lot because it's pretty accessible for bigger things, but definitely it still struggles from the same kind of problems that you get with A-flute cardboard. Now, as we move all the way down to B-flute cardboard, this one is better for fine details because it's smaller. Now we're all the way up at 48 flutes per foot and down to 1/8 of an inch. 1/8 of an inch is nice because it's easy to make measurements in that 1/8 of an inch space. You can just guesstimate at it. And like I said, it's not all going to be exactly the same thickness, especially since there's even more variety of cardboard than I'm talking about here. Some of them are like wax coated. Some of them use actual like thicker paper in the cardboard, which makes it stronger. But this is a general idea of what you're going to get in most cardboard boxes. If you have like a pair of calipers, which are like really fine measuring tools, you can get a really exact measurement of how thick your cardboard is, but it isn't always super necessary because sometimes your cardboard ends up being like crushed on the edges, which makes those measurements off if you're trying to measure it all off of that 1/8 of an inch. So yeah, I've got the millimeter measurement there too, and it's medium to small cardboard boxes a lot of the time. Sometimes you'll find corrugation like this, or even sometimes B-flute cardboard inside of other boxes like internal packaging solutions. But moving on to E-flute cardboard, this is where it is really useful to if you're going for finer details. So all the way up at 90 flutes per foot, that's a huge jump. We are incrementing by like 8s or less. And over here, we're all the way up at 90, and it's a lot thinner, down to a 1/16 of an inch. That's half as thick as our other cardboard was, which is really going to give you a lot easier time making fine details. I have a project up here that's been incomplete for ages, and it uses a lot of E-flute cardboard to make these smaller designs on here, and then it uses I believe that's B-flute all the way around here where it's covered in white for the main thick sections of it. More B-flute up here with E-flute wrapping around it for the smaller details. And that's a really good way to optimize the strength of your cardboard, because that thicker cardboard is going to be stronger with just one layer, but then also get fine details by using some E-flute cardboard. And you can find it in really small boxes, sometimes like little retail packaging, like the stuff that actually has like the logos of the company printed on it. You buy like a microphone or something, it comes in like a cool box. Or like you buy a smartphone, sometimes that's an E-flute cardboard. Or like shoe boxes are often made out of E-flute cardboard. Technically, there is an even finer cardboard called F-flute, which is like really thin, and I think the UK uses that as like shoebox cardboard. Saves a little bit more on like materials being put into the environment, but you're not going to find that most places. And the next kind of cardboard is a little bit different than what we have been talking about before. This is actually chipboard. Now, chipboard is basically just one side of the cardboard. And what I have right here is actually a side of a graham cracker box, because that is the sort of thing that chipboard comes from. It is really thin. I have 0.022 inches. It's basically like really thick cardstock. And you can take it out of cereal boxes. A lot of people call it cereal box cardboard. And it's great for really small details or really thin projects. But the beautiful thing about this is because it has no fluting, because it's that thin, it can make a lot more beautiful cardboard projects. And sometimes you can use it to cover up fluting in areas that don't need strength, but just sort of need to be covered in cardboard. And that gives it a lot of different crafting uses, and if you really want to dive into all the depths of this, you can download this guide and read through those. But a quick comparison of these different cardboards goes to show we're going E-flute as the smallest, moving to B as the second smallest, then C, then A. There's no D, because D-flute cardboard really is never used. I'm not sure why, but nobody ever really uses it. You can see a side-by-side comparison right here, and then a couple other things, including like this actual video, that you can watch to check that sort of thing out. But if you have any questions about this, feel free to leave them in the chat or in the comments down below. I would love to help you out with that in any way possible. The next thing you need to do is check out this video right here where I talk about the ways to make your cardboard project stronger that not only involve using stronger cardboards but a lot of other methods, or click or tap over here for another video by MakerBrain. As always, my name's Eli Tennant, this is MakerBrain, and have a blessed day.